Hello, dear friends! As we near the end of 2022, I thought it would be fun to rank my favorite top MLM fails of the year. Before we get started, to see who makes it to my #1 spot, please leave a like on this video and leave me some comments. Do you remember when all of this happened? How does it feel to be reliving it all now? Please let me know in the comments down below. Number 10. Mark St. Onge running away from his problems. For those of you who don't know, Mark St. Onge was the CEO of Black Oxygen Organics, a multi-level marketing company that sold dirt. Yes, literally dirt. It went viral and not in a good way. Mark had spent his entire life telling people that the fulvic acid found in this dirt that he was selling could basically do anything, from helping people regain the ability to walk, to curing the panini, to detoxing, quote unquote, parasites out of your butt.
So we talked about the moms. Let's talk about kids who have ADHD, who have autism spectrum disorders, different types of just what we consider today childhood illnesses. Any benefit there?
Yes.
Of course. He had convinced thousands of people to eat and drink this mud all day, every day, or bathe in it, or make a paste out of it and put it on your face. If that sounds absurd to you, don't worry. It is. It all is. So much so that at the end of 2021, the FDA held a bunch of the product for testing, and they found dangerous amounts of heavy metals, like lead and arsenic, in the product that Mark's followers were ingesting every day. Matt Weatherington, a lawyer out of Atlanta, Georgia, filed a class action lawsuit against Boo, and less than a week after the lawsuit dropped, Boo shut down and Mark went into hiding. So while all of this happened at the end of 2021, some of this spilled into early 2022, including perhaps one of my favorite videos of all time that I never even got to share with you guys. In May 2022, Inside Edition ran a segment about Black Oxygen Organics and the class action lawsuit. In it, the reporter flew all the way to Moose Creek in Ontario and tracked Mark down to try to get a statement. The video that resulted is absolutely hilarious, from the look on Mark's face down to the Mudman license plate. Watch this.
While we were up in Canada trekking through the muck, we caught up with the company's founder, Mark St. Onge.
We'd like to ask you about the allegations against you and your company. Is the so-called magic mud safe to use?
But he didn't want to talk.
Are you selling toxic mud, sir?
This was basically the only thing that any of us had heard from Mark all year. He's definitely been laying low. That is, until this week when someone from the Boo is Woo Facebook group sent admins these links, which are 2 profiles on theadulthub.com featuring our boy Mark seeking some no-strings-attached fun and also letting all of us know what his kinks are. He calls himself a swinger mud boy and specifically says he enjoys cream pies, although I'm sure mud pies would have been his first choice. Sorry for the nightmares. Before we move on to number 9, the most recent updates that we have on the Boo debacle. Earlier this year, Mark sold the rights of his product to another MLM called Youngevity, and it's still being sold there today. It's actually been speculated that the product Youngevity is selling is the exact same product, just relabeled or repackaged. Youngevity seems to have a tight grip on their compliance after what happened to Boo, so we no longer have an outpouring of insane health claims all over the internet over this stuff, so that's pretty much why we all kind of stopped talking about it. And finally, I got an update from the class action lawyer, Matt Weatherington, on November 2nd of this year that the lawsuit is still moving forward and it was recently granted class certification. Of course, I'll keep you all updated if and when I know more.
Libido.
Number 9, the Young Living cult book. In February 2022, a book shook Young Living to its core. A woman who had just recently left Young Living posted these videos to her Instagram story, claiming that months after leaving Young Living, she received this book in the mail called My Word Made Flesh by Robert Bob Stevens and his co-author Marcella Von Harding, a Royal Crown Diamond with Young Living who also holds a PhD with an allegedly unaccredited university.
Hi friends, if you have been around our page for very long, you know that we worked with Young Living essential oils for about 7 years. We got to basically the second to the top rank. And after a little while, we started to see that this company that we had really worked with and really believed in was not what we had signed up for. It was something just different and we couldn't really pinpoint it. We knew something had changed and we prayed really hard about it, and we walked away. We resigned our account with Young Living 5 months ago. The Lord was calling us out of that. Yesterday evening, I got something in the mail, this book. from Young Living, and it is written by their RCD of Royal Crown Diamond. The foreword is by CEO and Mary Young. She's the CEO. It says, "To Dear Diamonds." This book is honestly one of the darkest, most demonic books that I've ever had in my house. The things that they're saying for people to do, basically a seance with oils. One of the quotes that you're supposed to say as you put these oils on you, and I quote, "I am the resurrection and the life of my lineage." There is nothing more false than that, than taking Jesus out of it and putting yourself in there and putting yourself as Jesus. That's just so dark and demonic. And know that this kind of stuff is a slow trickle. You let this into your house and it will completely ruin you. Another one is so false as well. Jesus taught the use of oils to the disciples, not the masses. Jesus didn't do that. And the fact that his name is in this book makes me just... it's really bad. None of their products will ever be in our house ever again. This is so much bigger than money. This is so much bigger than the day-to-day life. This is eternal significance that you have in your hands, and you've got to rise up and stand up and run from this. There's no amount of money that should keep you in bondage to this company with this as a leader.
According to a Zoom call I was sent, this book was actually being promoted in 2021, but this controversy happened in 2022. Anyway, the ex-Young Living distributor was clearly so shook up by this book that her videos began to spread far and wide, causing allegedly hundreds of people to decide to leave Young Living over it. And if it weren't for the foreword in the book being written by Young Living CEO Mary Young, the existence of the book could have led people to be angry with Bob Stevens instead of Young Living, but Mary Young literally endorsed this book by essentially co-signing it and then presumably helping it reach the hands of every Young Living diamond and above. I received full access to the book in its entirety, and I read, I want to say the first 2 chapters on my anti-MLM ASMR channel that I only uploaded 2 videos to, but if you want an idea of the disturbing, strange, blasphemous, and concerning things found in this cult book, you can find the beginning of the book on that channel by just searching anti-MLM ASMR here on YouTube, or I'll have it linked down below. But to put it simply, Bob's whole deal is the power of words, so he applies words to different parts of spirituality, and none of it makes any actual sense. A lot of it suggests that your health issues are all in your head, and they can essentially be reversed with words and daily affirmations. Oh, and also, apparently you are actually God. See why Young Living took a huge blow for this? This was just the beginning of the controversies that Young Living would find itself in this year, though, which is why it's only reached number 9 on our list. Number 8, selling paparazzi at a funeral. This is going to be a short one here, because I think the video just speaks for itself. This is Taylor Kirby, the brother of Paparazzi CEO Trent Kirby, and a recipient of extreme nepotism because he's at the top of the $5 bling pyramid. In September 2022, he posted this live stream to his Facebook page where he is seen shilling paparazzi at a family member's funeral. Check this out.
I'm going live. I missed new releases pretty much. I grabbed a few pieces that were left, but I am here at the cemetery. I am at the funeral. My cousin's husband passed away on Sunday, and we are here at the funeral. So I'm literally here at the look, I'm still dressed up. We're here, but I just wanted to tell you that my Life of the Party packs arrived. So I have 10 available. If you want to claim them here, say pack times however many you want. Well, good. You know, life is interesting. You never know when it's your day. You know what I mean? You never know when it's your day. And all right, hot diggity to the dang dang. But we got 10 packs available, 5 pieces. I'm not posting the pictures. I'm not doing whatever. If you want them, you know what they are. I love you. I appreciate you. This is what it's about. Life is about. So here from the cemetery, you can sell jewelry. Crank and Lincoln. So I'm gonna go spend time with family. We're gonna do luncheon. I think they're gonna put the body in the ground. So love you.
As absolutely wild as it is for anyone to be shilling their MLM at a funeral, I think what really convinced me that Taylor Kirby needs to be on this list is how emotionless and detached he seems from the fact that they're about to bury his loved one. Taylor earns the number 8 spot because who does this? Number 7, Monet terminating Angelique. In March of 2022, a Monet distributor named Angelique Robles came out with a video calling out a senior executive director named Christina Smallwood for being a pretentious, manipulative bully with the intention of quote-unquote fixing Monet and making it a better place. She tried to speak to the corporate team about this, but to no avail. As we all know, top reps in multi-level marketing companies are treated like royalty, not just by their downlines, but by corporate too. So she found her way onto fellow anti-MLM creator Chelsea Suarez's channel for an interview where she talked about the situation and generally just expressed a desire to change the industry for the better, which we all know is a joke, but anyway. As you may have guessed, Monet Corporate viewed this as the last straw and terminated Angelique, all because she appeared on Chelsea's channel.
I just got terminated from Monet. I just got terminated. Hi, Angelique. We are reaching out to you today regarding your market partner account with Monet. It has recently come to our attention that you have publicly criticized other market partners and the business on social media platforms. Additionally, these types of posts also cause damage to the company and other market partners' reputations. As a result of your activities, we have terminated your Monet agreement effectively. Thank you, Joseph Corina.
And honestly, since this happened, Monet hasn't really recovered. The company went through a lot this year and they've been crumbling hard. When Angelique quit, her story convinced a lot of people to leave too, and it helped expose the cattiness going on behind closed doors. We saw a mass exodus beginning at the end of 2021 when one of Monet's biggest teams, Wfab, left for iGenius. 2023 likely will not be a good year for Monet, and I can't wait to watch them continue to crash and burn. And as a quick update, after months of unwavering and, to be very upfront and honest, undeserving support from many of us in the anti-MLM movement, despite some of the problematic social views that she was very vocal about, Angelique joined another MLM called Q Sciences and then quit a couple weeks later due to the extreme backlash she received. Anyway, whatever. Speaking of Wfab, Number 6, Wfab Lifestyles. Wfab is a network marketing team that began in Monet, but in late 2021, they jumped ship to another MLM called iGenius, which is a pyramid scheme company that teaches people how to sell cryptocurrency. In June 2022, Wfab would release their very own reality show called Heels Over Hills. From episode 1, we saw it flounder in its low production value, horrible audio quality, bad editing, allegedly by Jasmine herself, and annoying content, like constant screeching. They ultimately released 2 episodes with a preview for episode 3 at the end of episode 2. This preview caught the attention of anti-MLMers everywhere. Watch this.
Ooh. People hate what they don't understand. People hate what they don't get.
I love that you said women because I don't know any men that are on these anti-MLM videos. It's a women bashing motherfucking circle.
Okay, anybody that has time to hate doesn't have a f***ing life.
Thank you for promoting the brand for free.
Haters. Well, we all need them because, they are our brand ambassadors. It's honestly brought us a lot of business. So, we love the haters.
I say thank you for the work that you do for us, okay? Literally brand ambassadors that work for free.
So with that, the excitement was building. Anti-MLM creators gathered to witness the glory that would have been episode 3, but it never came out. Why? Many of us speculated that the first 2 episodes had gotten a lot of criticism from anti-MLM creators and they didn't want to give us any more content. It was also speculated that it was because they got kicked out of the Airbnb during filming because they were posting their shenanigans on social media and the owners of the home didn't want them disrespecting their property anymore, so they needed to move locations to finish taping, which would have resulted in a longer time to produce episode 3. Or maybe they realized that the rest of the episodes needed to be edited by someone who actually knew what they were doing, so after all the criticism, they decided to hire an actual editor. But what we've really come to realize is that while a lot of this may have contributed to the decision not to ever release episode 3, it's most likely due to drama brewing inside of Wfab itself. So when Wfab left Monet for iGenius, the 4 quote-unquote leaders who decided to make the move were Jasmine, Dre, and the 2 Daniellas. And as of now, the end of 2022, only 2 of those original 4 remain. Both of the Daniellas quit this year, and both were featured in Wfab Lifestyle. It's hard for me to set a timeline for the first Daniella to leave because her Instagram is private now, but it does appear that she co-founded a maternity clothing company, and it doesn't look like an MLM, so good for her, I guess. The other Daniella who left did so a couple couple months ago, where she ended up leaving iGenius and, by default, Wfab for Q Sciences, another MLM. With a storm brewing like this, it's likely that Jasmine and Dre decided not to put out any more episodes of a show called Wfab Lifestyle when 2 of the show's stars aren't even in Wfab anymore. The 3rd episode was never released, and a tear has been shed by every anti-MLMer's eyes. Number 5. Amir. Yeah, just Amir as a whole. In the summer of 2022, we witnessed the birth of the yellow strip scam. Amir, the company, released its flagship product called Access Clarity, which is a dissolving strip meant to be taken sublingually, even though all of the reps seem to be putting it on the top of their tongue instead. They spouted off claims that it helped them get off their antidepressants and anti-anxiety medication, that it would help you lose weight, and could greatly assist with you focusing. That last part specifically was used as a sales pitch to parents of children with ADHD, despite the fact that the website said it's meant for people 18 and over, but, you know, give it to your kids with ADHD, I guess. Don't do that, that's awful. We also heard, it gave me so much energy, but also it helps me sleep. So does the product give you energy or does it make you tired? These are the questions we need answers to. Ultimately, the problem was the stupid yellow strip was just curcumin, which is basically turmeric, a B vitamin, and an ingredient called NAC or NAC, which is used in hospitals to treat Tylenol overdoses and to clear mucus in the lungs. Neither of these uses have anything to do with what Amir reps claimed Access Clarity could do. Long story short, the lies these people were spouting off were extremely dangerous and irresponsible. On the topic of the ingredients really quick, NAC is technically not even allowed to be used in supplements because the FDA classifies it as a drug, not a supplement or a food. It's not really enforced at all. So you can buy NAC supplements at Walmart. The FDA couldn't really care less. We saw a huge surge of people leaving their MLMs to join Amir instead for this ground floor opportunity. We even saw a team get Amir inspired tattoos. That's how dedicated these people were. And just as quickly as Amir was plastered all over social media, it suddenly went silent. There has since been a huge mass exodus from Amir, including a lot of their top reps. But MLMs do sketchy things all the time, and people still stay with them, so what made them leave Amir after the serious promoting that they were doing? According to this set of screenshots, the distributor says that the uplines never received some of the money they were owed, specifically the 3 times rank bonus, which said that if a new Amir distributor makes it to the 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th rank of the company, which would be Icon 4 through Icon 7, they would receive triple their rank advancement bonus. So if a distributor shot up the ranks to Icon 7 in their first month, they were meant to have received $9,000 instead of the regular $3,000. Allegedly, these bonuses were never paid out. The distributor says the excuse they gave was basically that they weren't prepared for how many people that were going to rise up through the ranks. It turns out that when you set up an incentive that's that generous, people are going to actually go for it. Sounds like they actually expected it to fail. In my opinion, Amir has been nothing but a pump and dump scheme. Also, apparently the customer service was garbage. Go figure. You start up a company from scratch and push it through without giving anyone proper training. Of course things aren't going to go well. One thing anti-MLMers criticized Amir for was the product itself. I mentioned the bogus ingredients already, but the worst part was the price. A pack of 30 strips retails for $89, and many reps were taking multiple strips per day, pretty much paying $90 a month to experience the placebo effect. Some reps even bought multiple packs that they were dividing into quote-unquote sample packs consisting of 5 strips, and then they sold these for freaking $25. $25 for 5 strips. Can you freaking believe that? And despite how many Amir reps were publicly singing Access Clarity's praises, I got my hands on an exclusive team chat where so many people are admitting that they were disappointed with the lack of results they got from the strip, and also sulking in their lack of success to sell all of the sample packs that they made, let alone get any actual retail sales. I have taken a step back. I was not able to get any excitement built. Never even got any samples out. I've gotten a lot of I don't feel anything on the product, even people who took it for 30 plus days. No one has had raving reviews like I see others having, so I'm not working the biz. I still take the product because it seems to help me. I'm honestly one of those that didn't feel much difference when taking the strips. I think that's why I had such a hard time pushing it. Hey y'all, I personally stopped supporting because I wasn't experiencing all the stuff I was hearing everybody else saying that they were. I'm not the type of person that can sell something that I don't believe in. Before I got my new product, I stopped using my strips, and within the first day or two, I noticed I didn't seem tired. By the end of the week, I felt way more awake than I did while using/taking the strips. I still use the product because it helps me go to the bathroom, but that's about the only reason anymore, unfortunately. I don't really feel any effects of it other than it makes me a little bit sleepy, so I take it near bedtime, and it was helping a little bit with some pain I was having. And same here for the various people that I had try it and bought a whole big supply of it. They didn't really notice any improvements, but that's okay. I'm just happy for the experience in trying something new. It was heartbreaking for me that so many did not have the experience I had when I got to try the samples from Dallas. Unfortunately, something must have gotten lost in translation during launch, as the product did not make me feel the way the samples did in Dallas. I'm not gonna lie, I really truly wanted the strips to work, and I'm sad that they didn't. However, it was my first try at doing anything of this sort, and I'm happy for that experience. It seems as though most people caught on pretty quickly that not only was the product a big fat $90 nothing burger, but the company was running straight into the ground and got out almost as quickly as they jumped in. What will happen to Amir in 2023? I'm hoping for their ultimate demise. Number 4. Smile's deceptive closure and bankruptcy. As anti-MLMers, we take great joy in seeing an MLM crash and burn. We don't necessarily love to see people being harmed by those outcomes, though. And we saw that happen big time with the closure of Smile. Smile was an MLM that specialized in overpriced children's clothing, and one of its founders, Nicole Thompson, is actually the daughter of Deanne Stidham, the sea witch responsible for LuLaRoe. Nicole claims that she got the idea to start a clothing MLM from divine intervention, completely ignoring the fact that her mother runs one of the shadiest MLMs of all time that also sells clothing. At the end of May 2022, Nicole and her husband Jeff would go live on Zoom, which they did not record, to throw the news in the faces of whoever could even make it to that Zoom meeting. And if they couldn't make it, then they had to rely on word of mouth to hear the news that Smile was changing its business model. No more MLM, they'd just be wholesalers now, meaning in order for any distributor to continue their Smile business, they'd have to go out and get a wholesale license, and they would only be relying on product sales as income. No more team bonuses or fast start incentives. They also had one of their yearly retreats coming up, which they canceled because of a bad political climate in Costa Rica, which was the destination. What probably actually happened, in my opinion, is that it was canceled because they knew that they'd be shutting down and they didn't have the finances to go through with the trip. They held out that the trip would still happen though, it just had to be rescheduled. Despite its sales force admitting that they should have seen this coming in hindsight, this actually came as an unexpected shock to most. The sad part about all this is how many families lost their livelihood over this. As much as we like to see MLMs go down because it's one less company who's out here victimizing people, it's still upsetting to see families hurting like this due to the little regard that MLMs have for their distributors. So as much as that sucks, it only got worse. In September of this year, Smile announced that it was filing for bankruptcy. So I think it's safe to say that the wholesale plans were a lie, and ex-distributors shouldn't be expecting that trip to Costa Rica anytime soon. It may not shock you to hear that in the final weeks of operation, many distributors' checks were bouncing and they weren't being paid. In the bankruptcy filing, Smile cited more than $5.5 million in unpaid debts. No wonder no one was getting their paychecks. They were completely broke. Interestingly enough, nearly 200,000 of those debts was for a single luxury Mercedes-Benz that was bought with company funds. According to an article by Insider, multiple sellers of Smile cited the company in their own personal bankruptcy filings as well. And they all want to laugh when we say that MLMs bankrupt people. Come on, there's proof of it all over the place. Number 3. I briefly got Color Street banned on TikTok. Yes, this is definitely something that I can add to my list of things I'm proud of. On April 11th, 2022, I published a video interview with Jeremy, an ex-Color Street rep, where he alleged that Color Street and its affiliates had been discriminatory against him as a gay man, and also that Color Street had withheld pay from a trans woman. While I definitely recommend watching the entire interview because it's a great expose, let me show you the TikTok that I posted that ended up getting over 150,000 views on the platform.
My shit always had like a mission. So I did like a trans flag nail for trans awareness. And so it ended up getting deleted. And so out of the group, like the nail group. I did get a message on Facebook Messenger, and she just messaged me and was like, we just want to let you know that Color Street is not for gay people, and like, quit pushing your homosexual agenda.
I know you're a new Color Street stylist, so maybe you didn't realize, but Color Street isn't meant for gay men, and that's why we don't have any gay stylists. I've talked to several stylists, and you need to know that by pushing your homosexual agenda, you're offending people.
What on earth would make you message me with some bullshit like that?
Because it's the truth. That's why you don't see any men in our training videos or virtual meetings. I'm just giving you a heads up.
Thank you for your feedback, Karen. It's people just like you that keep me motivated. Have a great week.
My name isn't Karen.
Oh, trust me, it is.
Once this video started to make its rounds, Color Street's social media began getting pounded with accusations of being homophobic and anti-trans, and TikTok went so hard with reporting Color Street that they actually banned their TikTok account for breaking community guidelines. It was probably gone for a couple weeks, but they ended up having their account reinstated, despite the fact that TikTok's terms and conditions say that you can't advertise multi-level marketing companies. It's against their rules, but they're just entirely unwilling to uphold that rule. Anyway, with a deactivated TikTok account and waves of angry people bombarding their other social media, they were forced to make a public statement and turn off all the comments on their Instagram. Here's a statement that they made.
In light of recent videos that have been circulating of social media, we at Color Street want to reassure our community and customers that we do not tolerate or support any transphobic or homophobic behavior. On Tuesday, it first came to corporate's attention that hateful messages were sent to a former Color Street stylist by an unidentified person, and we immediately put a team together to investigate who this may be. We are taking these statements very seriously. We are actively pursuing the identity of this person who sent the messages and have attempted to reach the former stylist/recipient of the messages but have not yet received a response. As a result, this limits our ability to take appropriate and immediate action against the sender of the discriminatory messages, but we will continue to search for answers. We would also like to address the concerns surrounding the terminated account. We referenced our email and phone records from April and May 2021, and confirmed that this account was created by an individual who admitted to dishonestly creating the account in question. This information was shared with the former stylist. The termination of the account had nothing to do with transgender discrimination. We are deeply committed to building a stronger culture of inclusivity, fairness and respect, and would like to remind our community of stylists of our general conduct policies that have always been a part of our company ethos. There is absolutely no place in our company for hatred or discrimination. We're dedicated to upholding our culture and values.
A few things seem off in that statement. They say in the statement that they reached out to Jeremy to rectify the situation via a phone call, but Jeremy refused to answer a phone call because he knew that they were only doing it that way because they didn't want him to record the call. Jeremy ended up communicating with them in Instagram DMs, but when he asked them if he could record their conversation, Color Street did not respond and did not reach out to him again, to my knowledge. Jeremy told me that he felt as though Color Street was trying to be in control of the situation by only accepting communication via phone call because they felt that they could manipulate him best that way. Which obviously, like, you want to get this kind of stuff in writing, of course. Jeremy's smarter than that. Great job, Color Street. Nice try. Color Street also claimed that the transgender stylist that they withheld pay from was because they were dishonest when they created the account. Jeremy told me he's unsure of what they mean by that, but we can only assume that the dishonesty was about the woman using her chosen name instead of her birth name, you know, since she's transgender, and then it didn't align with things like her social security number. In the end, like I said, Color Street got their TikTok reinstated, but that's not the worst part though. So to just rub salt straight into the wound, not only did Color Street decide to go hard trying to prove how much they love gay people by releasing 2 rainbow designs. The first one was called Throwing Shade, and then they came out with their pride design, which looks eerily similar to the design that Jeremy made using Color Street while he was with them in 2021. Excuse me, Color Street, but this is so obvious that it hurts. Color Street did an awful job at handling this situation, and they only decided to come out with a pride design after I got them banned from TikTok. This kind of blatant shenaniganery is why this fail ended up in our number 3 spot. Number 2. Operating at a loss. At the beginning of this year, I was given access to a screen recording of Young Living's CEO, Mary Young, on stage at their New Year kickoff event. In this video, Mary drops the bomb that Young Living is not doing so well. Check this out.
What do you think we're paying to bring those oils in? How long do you think Young Living could survive if we don't have any profit and we're operating in the hole? We're operating at a loss. Can any business survive that? Can it? Come on. No, no business can survive that. Why have so many businesses gone out of business? Because they can't operate at a loss.
Mary Young's words sent shockwaves through Young Living, and many distributors took to Facebook to figure out ways that they could help. Some suggested reusing lanyards at their convention, or bringing their own bottles of Ningxia Red to Young Living events, or not buying paper anymore. They were absolutely scrambling until my video came out. Then their fear turned into denial. To this day, I have not been able to share the screen recordings I've been sent of an exclusive chat between Young Living leaders. Someone in that chat is a whistleblower, so we've gotten a lot of exclusive insight through this person. But in this chat, they share my video specifically, and they talk about how I took the video out of context and I edited it to make it look like Mary said that, and that I'm all these terrible things. I'm pretty sure they said I was like a weirdo or something. I don't know, which I guess isn't that terrible, but you know. Anyway, none of that is true. I showed the video exactly the way that it was sent to me. I didn't edit anything out. Unfortunately, I still can't share those screenshots though, because it will give away who the whistleblower is, and they'll probably get kicked out of all those exclusive chats. My point is, however, that Young Living's sales force went from freaking out behind the scenes to calling me a liar to the public. That was until recently. On October 19th, 2022, I was sent this TikTok posted by an anonymous account. After they posted this, they deleted their TikTok account shortly after. So we believe it was posted by someone high up who didn't want to jeopardize their place in the company. But we have yet another separate recording of Mary Young talking about Young Living trying to dig themselves out of financial ruin and mocking people who are losing money to the pyramid scheme she's running. Listen to this.
In one country, we were paying out 120%. In another country, we were paying out 90%. Some of the countries in Europe, we were paying out 70, 80%. And in the United States, it was starting to crop up. I used to sit at night at the kitchen table with a big spreadsheet, and I would go through country by country, analyze. This is our CFO, said, Mary, if you don't stop this, in 6 months, Young Living will be bankrupt. You're gonna change the comp plan again? I said, yep, sure am. She said, oh, I don't think that's a good idea. And I said, well, I do. And she said, are you sure about that? I said, yes, I am. We have to change it. When we changed to the new comp plan, oh my goodness, the complaints, my check went down. Oh, some people's checks went down by $20, $30, $40, $50,000. Oh, that was so painful. And I said, well, maybe you better get busy and work with your organizations and help them stay strong. Did we have a choice? No. Do we have a choice? No. Now you have two choices. You can stick it out with me, or you can go home and cry and walk away. Those are your only two choices.
Young Living has had quite a year, but there's one thing that we have left to talk about, and it is the holder of my #1 MLM fail of 2022. Number 1, the seed to seal scam. Since its early days, Young Living has been running on the claim that from the moment the seed is put into the ground to the time the essential oil is sealed in the bottle, Young Living has their watchful eye and their grubby little hands all over every product that the company sells. They call this seed to seal, and they've had it plastered all all over their labels, websites, and other forms of media. It's their brand, it is their foundation, and it's what distributors lean on when they claim that Young Living has the most superior essential oils in the entire world. But this year, it all came crashing down. In 2017, a trial was held to determine the outcome of Young Living's feud with doTERRA, and it was only this year where we finally got our hands on the 4,000-page long transcript of this trial. And what we discovered by reading these court transcripts by witnesses that were under oath was a treasure trove. One of the bombs dropped was that Gary Young admitted to performing surgeries on patients, quote unquote, without a medical license or any accredited medical education. We knew he'd been practicing medicine without a license, but I don't think any of us realized it was to this extent. As horrifying as that is, the discoveries only got better from there, or worse, depending on how you look at it. Since its inception, Young Living has built 6 of their very own farms where they grow a variety of plants and then they distill the oils and bottle them themselves. These farms are essentially what I believe to be a front for Seed to Seal, suggesting that all of their products have been coming from these farms, with the exception of a few quote-unquote partner farms that they mention here and there but don't give any specific information about. Anyway, I've been questioning all of this since I first started researching Young Living because Young Living was fined over $750,000 in 2017 for violating the Lacey Act, which is an act that protects endangered plants and animals, and Young Living had imported an endangered plant to make one of their oils. Imported. That's the word we're looking at there. Imported. They were very publicly caught illegally importing a plant, but I guess none of us really dwelled on that despite how big of a red flag it was. But according to these court transcripts, Young Living's former COO, David Sterling, who was involved closely with Gary Young, admitted that the Seed to Seal marketing plan was not true. He says that Seed to Seal implies that Young Living had complete control over every part of the production of their oils, and he refused to push Gary's marketing plan through because he and other executives knew that not even 1% of their essential oils were produced by Young Living's own farms. After these transcripts were uncovered, the sleuthing began, and we found public records from various importing websites proving that Young Living has imported from multiple different companies, whether it be raw material or just straight up ready to go essential oils, or at least they were in like those barrels or whatever ready to be put into bottles. Lots of different forms of stuff here were imported. Not only that, but they were importing from the same companies as doTERRA and other competitors or other companies who use essential oil in their products like Procter & Gamble. This is significant because Young Living is notorious for saying things like, friends don't let friends buy their essential oils from Target, while meanwhile brands that utilize essential oils that are sold in places like Target and Sprouts or Whole Foods or wherever else, there's proof that many of them are importing their oils from the same exact sources as Young Living is, which would also probably explain why they refuse to release any quote-unquote testing results that they claim that they do, because then people would see that their supposed superior quality is the same as their competitors, and they can't have that because then they wouldn't be able to justify the unbelievably marked up prices that they sell their oils for. While admittedly Young Living has never explicitly said someone working for Young Living plants every seed, cultivates and harvests every plant, distills each oil, tests each batch, and bottles the oils themselves with no outside help or interference at all, but it's so obvious that Young Living has used protective, non-specific language when talking about Seed to Seal. They've mentioned that they have partner farms, but not much else has ever been known about those quote-unquote farms, and they never implied that they were importing straight-up pallets of essential oil from various companies, like not farms, we're looking at companies here. Their marketing was objectively and purposely misleading, and the proof of that came from the discovery of these court transcripts. They unraveled decades of lies, and it's the reason why it holds the #1 spot for the biggest MLM fail of the year of our Lord 2022. So that's it, guys. That is my ranking of the top 10 MLM fails of 2022. I appreciate you for watching. Now, real quick, I just want to thank some people specifically, and they are my patrons and my YouTube members. These guys are my financial supporters. They get access to things like our private Discord server. We have a postcard club, early access to videos, they'll get early access to this video, and sometimes more. So if any of that sounds good to you, you can go to patreon.com/SavannahMarie, or you can click the join button beneath this video to join our YouTube members. It's all the same, just whatever platform you choose to use. And with that, the biggest thank you in the whole wide world goes to Hula Chowdown, Janelle Pratt, Amanda Shannon, Christy Taylor, Elizabeth Wyatt, Nitty Dragon, Leanne, Ryamu, Sheila Tapia, Alice W, Boris Geller, Caroline Reed, Casey Scraper, Daniel Urena, Hanimal Crossing, Heidi Haw, Kim Cartwright, Maddie Darley, Marley Fletcher, Ray, Tuesday the 13th, Hannah, Little Birdie, Miss Blue, Mira SIK, Blazed Goddess, Martine Hubert, Carrie K, Vegan Chicky Nuggy, Love to Be Evil, Natalie Scott, Colin F, The Best Elephant, Jessica Billhart, Laura Jensen, Mitchie84, Jess Kronfeld, Emion, Auntie Lou, and Fallon Lowry, and to the rest of my financial supporters, thank you so much for being here and being you. Even if you're not a financial supporter, thank you for making it to the end of this video. YouTube loves watch time, so I appreciate you being here. Keep making waves, babes. I will smell you all next year, guys. I hope you have a fabulous New Year's celebration. Please be safe and stay nice and warm and cozy out there, unless you're in Australia or I guess the southern hemisphere. Then stay cool, I guess. I'm not sure when I'm going to be picking back up and getting back into my regular swing of things, but it'll definitely be after the holidays. But yeah, I'll see you guys when I see you. Mommy Tsunami out.